Y'all ready to talk about it? Y'all ready to talk about it? They've been messing with things, y'all. They've been really meddling. They've been really meddling. I think they done lost their rabbit ass minds. Here we go. Here's the opener. Let's go. Well, what do we have here? What do we have here? Hang on 1 second. I got people texting me. Let's see. All right. How y'all doing? These mother truckers have been acting a complete plum lily ever loving ass Whoa. Okay. These people done lost their minds, their collective consciousness minds. I'm going to play a little something. I'm about to put this down on the TikToks of it all. Let me download this. I'm going to play this for you guys because it's going to, it's too long to play as a YouTube short. I want to just prepare this information for you too as well. Let me just download this. So we've had CERN now, and I haven't been on since CERN. I don't think. Have I been on since CERN? I don't think so. I don't freaking know anymore. So CERN happened on Tuesday morning. Oh, so today is Wednesday. So no, I ain't been on. We were gonna try to go on last night, but I was exhausted. I was tired, like literally, completely tired. So we had CERN happen yesterday, and I don't know if any of y'all were super duper tired as well, just like I was, but it did affect me, and I know that there's some other people that is affected, and we're going to talk a little bit about the potential effects. Let me speak. Hello, Melinda. Hey, thank you, mod extraordinaire. Hello, Malika. Thank you, mod extraordinaire. Warrior Girl, 113. Yes, everybody, please, please, please do like and share the video. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. So I do appreciate that. Hey, Natasha, how are you? Hello. Hey, Tara, how are you? Hey, Cricket. Hey, Cericia Mod Extraordinaire. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Let's make sure I get everybody. Hey, Sean, how are you? Let's go on. Let's see what's Melinda saying. I have no idea what they are. Okay, and you're from G. Okay, good. Well, this will be very good. This will be very good for you. We're going to tell you what they are and everything. So am I the only one that wasn't upset about the guy? Well, no, there are other people that are celebrating this. I want to have just a very open discussion about what they are, why they are. Yes. What they are, why they are. I want to have an open discussion about what they could potentially mean, why I feel like people have assigned certain meanings to them. Whether I feel that that's accurate or not, you are more than welcome to make your own decision. But I want to, I will just tell you this as I'm going through and saying hello to everyone. When I heard it, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing now. And so we'll talk. Latoya, hello, darling. Hello, how are you? What's Warrior Girl? Good to see here, baby. Okay. CJD, how are you, darling? Talks about, yes, how people should be living on Earth. Absolutely. You're fascinated and intrigued. Yeah, it is fascinating. I knew a little bit about it, but okay, darling. But I didn't, I was like, let me just do some more investigation into this. Lavon, how are you, honey? Did you see how to get in touch with me? Admin at heartofinspiration.net. If one of my mods could put that email in there, or we're at Heart of INSP on Insta. Okay, that's how you can find us. Louise, how are you, beloved? Hello, darling. I haven't seen you all the way from Australia. Hello, 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 darling. I emailed you back today again. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Hey, Samantha. Okay, we're gonna continue. I just want to keep making sure. Hey, sweet Harmony, how are you, darling? How are you? Using a war analogy, I think the last 2 days would be the outbreak of the first soldiers firing shots off to kick a giant conflict. Woo, we came in hot today, boy. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Oh, it's gonna be a good one. But yes, it is. A good evening. Okay, good. I'm so glad, honey. I'll respond to you then. Hey, Desiree, how are you? All right. Again, thank you all for supporting, for liking, subscribing. If I earn that, please, when you do subscribe, be sure that you do hit that bell button so that you are fully made aware of when we go live or when we drop videos. I've been dropping more YouTube shorts. So I'm finding that I actually like it. Sometimes we don't like these things, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do first before I start in on anything else is I'm going to go on and show you guys the TikTok. I am at Heart of INS. I think I'm at Heart of Inspiration or Heart of INSP on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. I'm starting to, me and Twitter, like, I don't know, it's whatever it is, but you can find me everywhere on all of the platforms. That way I'm dropping a lot of things on YouTube Shorts, but we are starting to do different content in different places. And if you go to heartofinspiration.net, you should also then be able to sign up for my newsletter. I dropped that this week as well. Very interesting. We try to drop an astronomy outlook for the week. And we also I drop something called Oracle's Corner. I have a couple blogs on there. And my coaches actually have Coach's Corner. So there's a lot of great and free information on there as well. I'm just waiting for this to process. So we had CERN. There's some debate. There's been debate as to when CERN was like fully fired up and when they were celebrating it. My understanding is the celebration of CERN and when they were really just kind of like saying, yes, we're doing it. And yes, we've had some success, happened on the 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you didn't see it yet, let me show this. This video, I did a live stream all about CERN. We broke down the numerology of CERN. The conversation did go in different directions. However, we broke it down. I broke down what it is, what they found the last time, what they were trying to do this time. And I'm going to show you guys. So my bestie, Secret Tarot, I'm going to drop a community post about this. I've been a little bit busy. Got me a few things for my birthday. One of which is this pair of dowsing rods. And I've been asked, we might ask my spiritual ancestors that have been around me lately what's going on. And she also got me this. You guys will see this soon. So for a pendulum, and then also bought me a beautiful black obsidian pendulum. So we might be using either the dowsing rods and she also bought me something else, but we'll show that in a minute. The dowsing rods and I have connected. I can use those as divination tools fairly easily. And I actually asked the rods last night, did they open up a portal? Here's the pendulum. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's black obsidian. It's absolutely beautiful. And thank you, Secret Tarot. I'll be making a community post to show all of the wonderful gifts that she so graciously sent me for my birthday early. But if you were, I asked the rods last night, and actually I was talking to my grandmother on my father's side, Grandma Betty. Thank you for chatting with us last night. And I asked them, did they open a portal? And Grandma Betty told me, yep. Grandma Betty told me, yep. And then I asked, did they open up this portal wide enough for them to send the drone through? And she said, yeah. And then I said, did they let anything out this way? Did anything come through back here? And she said, yes. And I said, was it shadow or light? And I got kind of a in between. So I said, okay, so it's a middle. I said, it's neither one, because there's some energies that are very neutral that are higher dimensional, guys. Not everything outside of this realm is either light or dark. And the same duality does not exist in the same way in other dimensions. But anyway, I said, is there intention to use it in a dark way? And she said, yes. And I asked that everyone that was involved in this know that, and she said no. They playing. I watched a guy from Canada and the shooting in Enola. It was not the only one over the 4th. Absolutely. By the way, the mass carnage over the 4th, that particular gentleman was 25 minutes away from me. He had planned or had considered doing a secondary mass carnage 25 minutes away from me in Madison, Wisconsin. April says, this event has left me with conflicted emotions. There's a report that it was lightning strike. I actually have footage. Someone, actually, Secret Tarot, thank you, sent me some footage. So we're going to be playing some YouTube videos. Hello, Jen. How are you, darling? Okay. Thank you, my dear. So let me show this about for CERN, and then we're going to actually, then we'll get to what we came here for, guys. Here's my take on where we should go, like what we should do post-CERN. This will be up on TikTok. Here you go. A lot of people have been wondering what we do in the aftermath of. Okay, so my face is way too wide. Let me play it a different way because that's just weird. That's just too weird. Hang on, guys. I can do this the right way. Okay, let me pause that. I'm going to rewind and we'll just share this. Hang on, gang. This really is a professional show. Here we go. Really, honest to God, it really is a professional show. So I know a lot of people have been wondering what we do in the aftermath of CERN. I hate to tell you, but we're not really in the aftermath of CERN just yet. You see, what they put into motion yesterday is just merely the beginning. It definitely wasn't a standalone event. So honestly, I feel that we need to stay on alert and still be very conscious of what was unleashed and what was started in the energetic ecosphere, if you will, of our current universe. So I'll put it to you like this. You need to stay vigilant. You need to stay aware, stay deactivated. And what do I mean by deactivated, or I should maybe say more so disengaged? Don't just leave yourself wide open to anything. So the coming videos. Are you all serious? It did not share the sound at all. This damn. Well, let's try it one more time. Again, this really is a professional situation. Here we go. So I know a lot of people have been wondering what we do in the aftermath of CERN. I hate to tell you, but we're not really in the aftermath of CERN just yet. You see, what they put into motion yesterday is just merely the beginning. It definitely wasn't a standalone event. So honestly, I feel that we need to stay on alert and still be very conscious of what was unleashed and what was started in the energetic ecosphere, if you will, of our current universe. So I'll put it to you like this. You need to stay vigilant. You need to stay aware, stay deactivated. And what do I mean by deactivated, or I should maybe say more so disengaged? Don't just leave yourself wide open to anything. So I'm going to ask that you keep grounding stones with you. Maybe take an additional Epsom salt bath. Diffuse frankincense or myrrh or lavender or cedar wood. Any of those healing, grounding, calming scents, oils around you. Because what we don't want to do is give just carte blanche access to the shadow energy to be able to usurp our light. Now, I'm not trying to scare you at all. I'm just giving you some protection. We'll give you some more tips and I'll give you some more insight about CERN and how to protect your energy in the coming videos. All right. So I wanted to put that out there in case y'all don't follow me on TikTok. That'll be up later or probably first thing in the morning. And I made that video a few hours prior to my hearing about the Guidestones. I felt this weird, like I'd been feeling weird all morning. I woke up at about 3 something in the morning here locally, which would have been about the time that the Guidestone incident would have happened. Yeah. So I definitely felt that there's something amiss in the ethers. Now, what I'm going to do as well, let me go here. Actually, let me go to this one and I'm going to go to my own playlist because I have been amassing some information today for y'all. Let me go to my library. Come on, open up. Don't have time for the tomfoolery of it all. Oh, you want to play games, do you? Okay, here we go. Where's my Georgia Guidestone? I literally made a whole playlist for this specific situation, and I just made it today. So I think I'm have to go to my studio, YouTube studio. It's going to be easier for me to go there and find it. Bear with me. So for those of you that I know that the word on the curb that's going around is that potentially this was a like lightning strike. I want to let me put this up here. We're gonna rewind. We're gonna pause this. We're gonna rewind it and let me share this. Fair use. This is fair use. This is fair use. Let me share this screen. So I want you guys to be able to see this. This is fair use. This is the explosion as it happened. There's not really any sound, guys. So you're going to see this in a later video, but I want you to notice that up here, there are cameras all around the Guidestones. I'll show you a Brad Meltzer history channel. I think he's on. You guys might remember this guy, Brad Meltzer, years ago. I don't think he still does it now, but I'm not sure. He did all these uncoded or decoded, like mysteries of the world or something. Anyway, he did one on the Georgia Guidestones. So as I was doing some research today on them, I was watching part of it. What's very interesting about the Guidestones is all around the Guidestones, as you see them here, there are all of these cameras. And there is there's actually a sign that, am I showing this to you or is it just, yeah, it is. Okay, good. There's actually a sign that when you get ready to walk up to the Guidestones, it says this area is under surveillance 24 hours a day. So you know that you're being filmed. Okay, I want to put that out there. Let's watch this. It's only 44 seconds. Here we go. So as you can see, there was 4 stones around there. And then here is the vehicle leaving at 4:03:43 a.m. That's not coincidental. Not coincidental at all. We'll get into the numerology of it. There is the explosion again from one angle. I think it blew that particular camera out when it blew up. And then here is the vehicle leaving. Driving on the grass, I find that kind of interesting. I think, if I'm going to be honest with you, I think that they would have driven on the grass so that they cannot. Oh shit! Sorry, gang. Hang on. I got to go over here because it's playing something and I don't want it to play. Sorry, guys. So that they couldn't get the tire track marks off of the street. Okay. So they couldn't get the tire marks off of the pavement. They drove in the grass, which if I can play that again, if you guys want to, I find that interesting because it really wasn't leaving any tire marks, like any tread marks that they could potentially track it from. Okay. Did they create a different timeline or play with timelines? You mean with CERN? I don't know that they created a different timeline. I paused with that question. I had to kind of think about that a minute. I don't know that they created a different timeline. I believe they're trying to alter this one or move us into an alternate timeline where shadow energy is more powerful and wins. Also, though, but what happened, this is a thus saith Lisa. To me, what I felt happen, and this, I was feeling this leading up to CERN. I felt this from the new moon, which happened just a few days prior to that. The split I told y'all about, I said this about the damn new moon. The split is becoming increasingly apparent between those who are choosing to reside in higher dimensionality, dimensional realms, dimensional worlds, dimensional outlook, dimensional operation, high dimensional, high vibrational operation, and those who are choosing to live low vibrationally. In other words, you know how Will and Jada said that they woke up that day and chose chaos. So those that are choosing chaos and those that are choosing order or light, those that are choosing shadow and those that are choosing light. That split is happening, and there's a group that's caught in the middle. It is private property. Yep, cameras are extremely obvious. Absolutely. Yep, I love the switching angles. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see this because I don't want there to be any discussion as to whether or not this was a freaking lightning bolt. It was not a lightning bolt. Oh, I don't know, maybe the right time before blue wasn't shared by the authorities. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, I don't know where the footage is before. Hey, Drea, how are you, honey? Dukes of Hazzard style. The tire tracks. So it's going to be harder, depending on if it rained, whether to get those tire tracks. But I just found it interesting that they rode on the grass instead of on the driveway right there. I've been feeling it off for a while too. Yes. So, oh, you visited them. That's interesting. The mark is manifesting so heavily right now. I'm experiencing that. At some point, we'll talk about whether that there's really a mark or what the deal is. No, we're not going there, Lisa. Not tonight. Okay. So that's the initial. So now we all know that the Georgia Guidestones, in fact, were exploded. All right. So I don't want anybody to sit here and think that the Georgia Guidestones were not exploded. I want to show you guys another picture of the Guidestones as they were before. So let me share this one, and then we're going to get into what they are. Okay, we're going to get into what they are and what significance they have, and then we'll talk about why I believe what happened. I'm still not certain, and I wished I had somebody with boots on the ground that could possibly get there to tell me. I'm still not certain which one of these 4 Guidestones was actually exploded. I'm hoping that I can, maybe you guys can help me as I'm looking at these different pictures, right? As I'm looking at these different pictures to determine. But there are 1, 2, 3, there's a 4th guide stone in the back, okay? There's one at the top, and then we have this central stone in the middle. Let me pull up the wiki. Well, let me see here. All right, let me do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go back here. And I want to talk about the guide stones themselves. This is about, okay, let's share this one, and we'll just keep going from here, guys. This is some of the information as it's being put out here, right? Here we go. Take it for what you will. This is from Yahoo News earlier today. Georgia Guidestones explosion. America's Stonehenge. So for those of you who are not aware, you know, you guys know about Stonehenge over, right, in Europe, right? On the British Isles. Ancient Celtic monument. It's in a grove. If any of you watched Game of Thrones, it was very similar to what the Children of the Forest had when they made the first, when we believe how they made the Night King. Anyway, so, and I can show you a picture of Stonehenge. It holds magical properties. It's a very we'll just say energetic location. Most practicing or most certain Christians, a lot of fundamental, we'll just say Christians and others, but will say, oh my God, it's, evil, because there were a lot of rituals and what they would call witchcraft or what have you, ceremonies that were done at Stonehenge by the Celtic priestesses. Okay. It's a high holy place. But then again, guys, a lot of what we did back home, either here home or home on the continent in the motherland, was considered witchcraft too. So take that for a grain of mother truck and salt. And we're going to talk about that another time. But anyway, so this was considered America's Stonehenge, okay? The mysterious Georgia Guidestones have sustained, and now we see here from this angle, I wonder if I can figure this out. From this angle, which one was just demolished. There was a thunderous explosion. The Guidestone, sometimes called America's Stonehenge, despite being erected in 1980, consisted of 6 granite slabs with an inscription carved in 8 different languages across the slabs. The inscriptions contain guidelines, hence Guidestones, for pursuing human progress. So let us now go to looking up the Georgia Guidestones. Okay. And I want us to understand what the Guidestones are and where they came from and what was inscribed on them. This is a good one to go to. Okay, here we go. I like Yahoo News today. Usually I don't like them, but it is what it is. Debbie, we just got started. Don't worry about it. It's not strange for it to be considered like Stonehenge, because the Stonehenge, I don't consider it strange. I mean, there's some spiritual connection there. I can understand why. And, we Americans, we have to be everything to all people. Oh, okay. All right, guys. I'm glad you guys are watching. It takes real effort to choose light. Absolutely. This is intentional, a real spiritual, energetic battle. Absolutely. They may have tried to take the whole thing down, but let's talk about what it is. Let's talk about what it is, guys. Let's get to the next step. What are the Georgia Guidestones? Okay, back to Yahoo. Okay, here we go. Where are the Guidestones and what are the Guidestones and where did they come from? The Georgia Guidestones is a group of stones forming a granite monument in Elbert County, Georgia, located off Guidestone Road, okay, just east of State Highway 77. I want you guys to pay attention to the numerology. Off Highway 77, 90 miles east of Atlanta, 45 miles from Athens, Georgia, and 7 miles from the town of Elberton, locally known as the granite capital of the world. 90 in astrology forms a square. A square is that aspect in astrology that causes you to move, right? That makes you so uncomfortable that you got to do something to relieve it. It can be a rubbing together. It's not an opposition where you're on opposite sides of the fence. It's a square. 45 miles is a sextile. That would be like your kissing cousin, right? Or not kissing cousin, but your cousin, right? The one that's going to agree with you. Well, no, 45 is a semi-square. Semi-square. My bad. 60 is a sextile. So 45 is a semi-square to Athens. So that's halfway between the sextile and the square. So you're kind of in agreement, and yet we still got more ways to go. So I find that interesting and significant as well. From Athens, Greece, philosophy, Socrates, blah, blah. You get it? Okay. And it's made out of granite, right? The locally mined stones feature one slab in the center with 4 arranged around it. The capstone, or that stone on the top, lies atop the 5 slabs, which are astronomically aligned. The total height is 19 feet and 3 inches. I haven't figured out how many inches that makes. I'm sure that's significant. Hold on. Clear. 19 times 12 equals 2 plus 3. So that's going to equal 231 total. 5 plus 6, that reduces down to 6. The number of family, the number of change, the number of victory, the number of man. And if you round it up 5.7 meters, it's 6. Number of man. Okay, an additional stone tablet set in the ground a short distance to the west of the structure provides some note about their history. Nicknamed the American Stonehenge, the monument's purpose is somewhat ambiguous. The project was commissioned in June 1979. 10 plus 16 is 26, 8. Interesting. By a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian. I want you to remember that. R.C. Christian. R.C. Christian. Sounds, if you say it very quickly, it sounds very much like Rosicrucian. Rosicrucian. We're going to talk about the Rosicrucians as well. He approached Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of a small group of loyal Americans, explained that the stones would function as a compass, a calendar, and clock, and should be capable of withstanding catastrophic events. Now, of course, people thought that Mr. Christian was a nut and tried to discourage him from doing it, but he didn't care, right? It cost a lot of money. When arranging payment, Mr. Christian said he represented an anonymous group that had been planning the project for 20 years and provided a scale model with 10 pages of specifications. Are you noticing all the multiples of 10? Are you noticing the significance of a lot of these numbers? Multiples of 10 represent multiple cycles. Okay? They represent cycle endings, new beginnings, cycle endings, new beginnings. This is all very numerologically intent. There's a high intent. A project for 20 years reduces down to 2, which is a master number. A project, and it had exactly 10 pages. So that's a precise, very complete, that's a complete number. And also, if you reduce it down to 1, represents kind of like the Godhead, right? The God, like singular, oneness, divine, right? The 5-acre site was purchased from a farmer. And the completed monument was unveiled before a crowd of a couple hundred on March 22nd, 1980. We will look at the chart on March 22nd, 1980. Off the top of my head, that's just probably the spring equinox. A planned timed capsule was never buried, but it does list the sponsors as a small group of Americans who seek the age of reason. The age of reason. What age are we in right now? We are in the age of Aquarius right now. We are in the age of reason. Yep. So we're going to get to all that maintaining life at 500,000. That typical. Okay. Not too far from Lake Lanier. I'll have to look that up. I'm going to catch up on these. Kali Yuga going to end with the lower vibrations tearing each other apart, Kali consuming herself. We'll have to talk about that. Everything that dies must be reborn. There's a rebirth also in that. Kali sometimes is misunderstood. The 4 outer upright stones, here we go, are placed to mark the limits of the 18.6-year lunar declination cycle. Whereas the center column has a hole drilled at an angle through it that aligns with the North Star. It aligns with Polaris perfectly. The center pillar also has a slot carved through it, which is aligned with the sun's solstices and equinoxes. A small aperture in the capstone allows a ray of sun to pass through it at noon each day, shining a beam on the center stone, indicating the day of the year. This is why it is compared to Stonehenge. A, it's made out of stone. B, it's an open field. C, it's an open structure. But probably most importantly, this was designed, erected, constructed very precisely so that the astronomical, astrological, time, all of these demarcations, right, were made correct. It's a compass, it's a astrological calendar, it's astronomical as well. This wasn't just by happenstance that they constructed it in this precise way with these precise measurements. Each of the outer vertical stone blocks is also inscribed with a 10-part message in 8 different languages: English, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, Hebrew, Hindi, and Swahili. The messages are guidelines for humanity. These at the time, and I think still today, you guys can look it up and let me know if I'm right or wrong, were and are the 8 most spoken languages. 8 most spoken languages in the world. April, that's what we're gonna be here to determine. We're gonna be here to determine, is this truly New World Order? Is this New World? Is it some whatever in between? What was the purpose? This is what I want to know. This is what we're here for. All I'm hearing right now from a lot of people is, even when I put the short out earlier today about the Guidestones being blown up, my comments, yay, 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 amazing, amazing, amazing. You don't even know what they really are. You're told by people, they're satanic. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go here for just one quick second. Let me allow me to go here for 1 second. You're told that they're satanic. You're told that you should think that they're bad. You're told that the man that constructed it was all a part of this new world order. And that everything, and I'm going to go through this. I'm going to go through it. But I'm going to ask you to think about it in a different way. Because the more and more things I'm beginning to uncover and others are uncovering about what we've been told is truth, ain't. What you think you've been basing your life on, or your religiousness, or your spiritualityness, there's been a lot of lies, a lot of bamboozling going on. Lots. It has been insane. It's going to get worse. The Church of the Romans has tainted almost all the ancient knowledge and wisdom of ages. Let me tell you something about the Church of the Romans. The Church of the Romans was the first and original New World Order. The Church of the Romans was the first and original one world government ruled by religion. There were no Christians before the Catholic Church. That did not exist. I'm going to say that again. There were no Christians before the Catholic Church. That did not exist. The Roman Catholic Church integrated Roman, Celtic, Norse, and other pagan belief systems and created something else. Now, when we really start, and we're going to be digging now, and then over the next, like, I'm going to start dropping some information some of y'all may or may not like, and I really, honestly, at this point, don't care. Because I got to get the truth out so y'all can step outside of the boxes you're in. I got to get the truth out so people can see the reality of where we're really, what's really going on in the matrix we're really living in, because they keep moving it, and I got to show you where they've been moving things around to fit their view. I also got to show you that a lot of the things you've been basing your belief system on are far and away more ancient than 1492 or whenever it was written, 1514, whatever. Whenever the King James Version was written. There's a lot, or 1460, 1450, whatever, the 1400s, y'all. Way back. And in fact, they're just altered. They altered the same story. It's just a kind of, it's rather plagiaristic. Aren't those the stones they say how much human population? Yes, I want y'all to I'm not coming at you. But I gotta call truth. This is not personal. I don't want nobody. I understand basic instructions before leaving Earth, but I'm gonna tell you that shut up. I'm not coming at nobody, but I gotta tell you what's the truth. Well, this is true. Christmas was Saturnalia. Eastern is a pagan holiday for fertility. All right, here we go. Let's go. The Greeks stole their religion from the Egyptians? Absolutely. And the Romans stole it from the Greeks? Absolutely. The 15th card of the original tarot was not the devil before Christianity. That one I did not know, Warrior Girl. Tell me, 1605. Thank you, baby. Child, I can't remember. I used to know. What was it, Warrior Girl? Tell me. I don't even know that because I'm not a terrorist. I don't know about the Bergoglio Church. Any of these serious about the stones? I think the stones are going to like doctrine. And I don't even know that it's a doctrine, but we're going to go into this because I want to go into the Rosicrucians too. Oh, got you. Artistically, got you. Here we go. The church incorporated pagan religions, yep, to convert the non-Christian people. Absolutely. Oh, I didn't think you were here for anything else. All right. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to it. This is what's written on the stones. Now, interestingly enough, this top one, I'm going to read this from the bottom up. I feel like because a lot of artistic languages are read left to right, up to, bottom to top, like it's like line upon line, like you build up. And I just feel instinctually that that's really the way this is meant to be read. Again, take it for what it's worth, whatever. All right, there's 10 statements here, guides. Be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Okay? Prize or honor truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Okay? Balance personal rights with social duties. That sounds a lot like service to others. Not service to self. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Interestingly, I've been perusing all over mainstream media today. Ugh. Anyway, when they read these, they never say useless officials. They always say avoid petty laws. They drop that useless officials thing off. So if you wasn't reading, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Well, that's very interesting. Now, isn't it? Don't you find that interesting? I find that interesting. It was Baphomet the goat. Oh, gotcha. So it was always Baphomet, but yeah. Oh, you mean okay, okay, all right, no problem. My name was like, Malika, did I say something wrong, girl? My Cancerian sensitivity is showing through. It sounds like service to others. Okay, let's go back. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. I'm still failing to see what the damn problem is. Did I miss something? Okay. Rule, passion, faith, tradition. So passion, faith, and tradition should rule, and all things with tempered rule passion, faith, and tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Okay, let's try that. Let's read that the right way. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. So don't be a crazy zealot. Unite humanity with a living new language. Light language, the language of love frequency, harmony. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Okay. And this is the sticking point. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Let's remember that at the time this was written, it was 1980. It was 1980, y'all. I can't say for sure. Let's look it up, shall we? What was the world's population in 1980? The world's population in 1980 was 4.458 billion. Holy crap. Holy wow. Wow. In the words of Armand. 4.8 billion. Wow. Okay. Hey, Keza, how are you, honey? I was thinking about you. Put your jump bucket in it. Right. So, you don't have to be down with it. I'm down with it. I'm just saying what it was. I missed you too, baby. We need to talk. I'm not saying I'm down with capping it at 500 million either. But can we all be real for a second? If these people keep doing what they're trying to do, they trying to get us down to that level or lower. It's not like they're not out here trying to do us wrong. Okay? Y'all gotta pay attention. Let's look at, can we pay attention to something else here for a really quick second here? Let's look at this here. I don't think any of us can be upset with balancing personal rights with social duties. I don't think any of us here can be upset about prizing truth, beauty, and love and seeking harmony with the infinite. That's seeking harmony with the universe. That's seeking harmony with Creator, God, Spirit, Source. Why is that a problem? Be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature so that we can be in tune and in harmony with the ecosystem. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Let all the nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. I'm confused. You know what that says? That says to me, stop sending covert operatives into other people's damn countries and overthrowing it and causing chaos because you feel like it for your own personal or country's benefit. Because let's all just be real about another thing. Anytime we go and we start overthrowing and installing leaders anywhere else, we don't get the benefit of that. The people that did it get the benefit from it. We don't see no benefit from that. It makes them more powerful, brings them more money, brings them more land, brings them more control, brings them another group of people that they can then subjugate. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. All things, rule all things with tempered reason. Unite humanity with a new living language. Guide reproduction. Let me tell you, what have we been talking about? Yeah, I understand Roe v. Wade, that's a messed up situation, y'all. But y'all better watch y'all vaginas. Y'all better have control over your vaginas. Have control over your vaginas and have control over what goes in your vaginas. And men, stop depositing in people's vaginas if you don't intend to help with the outcome. Now, that's my sex education talk for the day. Now, let's scroll up. Global resources. Absolutely. Matter of fact, we've seen that happen over the last 2 years. Anytime people wanted to do mass experimentation, and they started it in the motherland. They started it in Africa. That's where they started it. And then those nations that said, no, you're not going to come in here and do these mass live test trials of this experimental pharmaceutical situation and mess around with our people and our people's fertility and our people's brains and our people's circulatory systems and hearts and nervous systems. Then they tried to make these people sound like they was crazy, and they tried to overthrow those leaders. What about those in newer generations that read them out of context of their year of creation? It's about control, and that should be a responsibility of self. I've missed it. I'm gonna open up the lines in just a minute. I'm gonna open up the lines because I think we need to have this conversation. I'm missing how all of that is control, except for that one top line. Being in line with our divinity. Do I think this was channeled? Potentially. And I think anytime you have a channeled message, there is the potentiality for someone to mischannel said information, to put it through their own rose-colored glasses. No pun intended. I'm actually going to bring up some information about the Rosicrucians. That's my point. Decrease us, but increase them. I don't think so. If you wanted to decrease us with Roe v. Wade, you would have just let Roe v. Wade continue to happen because they've already decreased us, especially us melanated people, by huge percentages over everyone else. So you would just continue to let it happen. Again, the hard part about that, and I'm not saying that I agree with the decision or whatnot, right? It's a woman's right to choose. I had to make the choice. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that one has to see that it is returning decisions back to the states, and we're in a federation of states, and I'm not going through it again. But that's where it actually is giving each state more power, and then you and your vote and your voice in your state more power. They always twisted the things like the Illuminati that had them built. I agree to some extent. Okay, guys, we're really missing the point here. Selective dating and procreation, absolutely. Control over your vagina, please. I believe that's what happened. I believe that's what happened. I believe that this was channeled and then it got twisted. The only conspiracy theorists, only the conspiracy knew about the stones or believed in them. They didn't make it known mainstream for obvious reasons. Absolutely. So now I want to show you guys one more thing. And let's talk about the Rosicrucians. I am going to bring up the Wikipedia on it. I know that's probably not the place to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's look about because I believe that RC Christian stands for Rosicrucians. I got the double controlling situation in my life. I submitted. This was pre-awakening. Yeah, my guides tell me it's kind of fused with my spirit, like in Venom. That's interesting. We'll have to. You please respond. You and I need to talk. Okay, here we go. Let me show this. Let me show you this. Rosicrucians. I believe RC Christian is a Rosicrucian or of the Rosicrucian order. And there were 20 of them that got together and they created these stones. Now, Rosicrucianism is a spiritual and cultural movement that arose in Europe in the early 17th century after the publication of several texts purported to announce the existence of a hitherto unknown esoteric order to the world and made seeking its knowledge attractive to many. Here we go. The mysterious doctrine of the order is built on esoteric truths of ancient past, which concealed from the average man provide insight into nature, the physical universe, and the spiritual realm. The manifestos do not elaborate extensively on the matter, but clearly combine references to Kabbalah, Hermeticism, alchemy, and Christian mysticism or Gnosticism. Knowing the Gnostics, for those of you that do not know, the reason why the Gnostic books are not in the King James Version of the Bible is because those were the power books. Those were the books in which all of these spiritual, other dimensional, esoteric magic is contained. The Rosicrucian manifestos heralded universal reformation of mankind through science, allegedly kept secret for decades until the intellectual climate might receive it. Controversies arose on whether they were a hoax or whether the Order of the Rosy Cross existed as described as the manifestos, and whether the whole thing was a metaphor describing a movement that really existed but in a different form. In 1616, Johann Valentin Andrea famously designated a lubridum. Let's see what that means. What is lubridum? A plaything or something trivial. It denotes an object of fun at the same time scorn and derision. So basically, he called it trash. Some scholars of esotericism suggest that this statement was later made by Andrea to shield himself from the wrath of the religious political institutions, yada, 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 yada. Let's see here. This is the Byzantine cross. The symbol, the Rosicrucian cross, is it is a Calvary cross with a rose at its center, which is identical with what the Masonic Rosicrucian scholar Manly Palmer Hall claimed to be, or Prince Hall claimed to be the original symbol of the Rosicrucians. Let's see, Enlightenment. The manifesto, I'm looking to see. So basically, Rosicrucians are like the alchemists of Christianity. Okay? There are Rose Cross degrees in Freemasonry, in the rectified Scottish Rite. Okay? The ancient accepted Scottish Rite. There is the Knight of the Rose Croix. So they are also Freemasons. And they're either esoteric Christians that believe in secret conditions that require initiation or to learn or understand. There's the Masonic Rosicrucians, which are Freemasons. The Societist Rosicrucians, which are only Christian Master Masons, but they're in England, Scotland, Portugal, Canada, and the US. And there's different groups about the, so now this is where they involve Hermeticism in it. The Hermetic Golden Order of the Golden Dawn, a study of the practice of the occult, metaphysics, and paranormal activities, known as the Magic Order or the Hermetic. So basically, these yahoos have taken over our stuff. Calling all of my Kemetic people, calling my Kemets. They stole our ish, as usual. Can't make nothing of their own. That is just freaking irritating. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. They literally took an ankh, put the triangle for the female receptacle, right? Well, actually, the male, the female. So they put the female to receive all of this life within, through the cross of death in there, and put a rose in the middle. Y'all gonna stop playing with me. Okay, I got to, See, now I'm getting mad. Y'all always stealing stuff. I'm so tired. Man, they take it. They gank it. They gank it. They don't just they. I ain't really trying. Well, I always knew that, but I'm not convinced that this is all New World Order. Does the rose symbolize blood? Well, let's check out one more thing. Let's check that out. I'm gonna actually ask what a rose symbolizes spiritually first, and then we'll go to the Christian, the biblical meaning. Here we go. Let's go with the spiritual. Listen, this is what I do. Every time I need to know something, child, I go and looks it up. I don't purport to know everything, but I know where to go look for it. Okay, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Roses are significantly blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. A source of divine inspiration. The Baha'i, right? Divine inspiration uses the rose as a metaphor that encourages us to take in what roses have to offer: beauty, fragrance, and pure energy, and internalize it. Okay, now let's see what let's see. Roses also can symbol. Here's one: sun signs. Rose symbolism specifies the special love that God has for human beings. Also, it signals holiness, and the rose is the attractive center point that can help make life more meaningful. So it shows the love that persists and the control of every step that follows in your duty. You have to stop at a certain point and rethink the best way to achieve success in life. Be leaning on sides that will guarantee you a win at the end of the day. Oh, here, this tells me what it symbolizes in the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. Flowers are signs of love to humanity. The white one is for peace. The red one shows blood and crucifixion. There you go, Keza. So you have to be keen in the line of duty that will be the core factor of finding success. The Bible portrays success that will be coming if you have happiness and conduct good rapport with the people. You have to use the rose symbolism as a measure of essential values for your life. Stick to your principle of life and have the right mood for achieving your objectives. All right. I'm going to drop the link. Let's start having the discussion. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to tell you right now. The Rosicrucians are old. The Rosicrucians were started 17th century-ish. Absolutely, yeah. Roses also have thorns, but hey, body electric, highest vibrational plant, absolutely. Well, yes, because the Rosicrucians are based on Christianity, tarot guy. The Ankh is older than any Christianity, any Bible, any Kabbalah, anything. Where's my Ankh? This is the original symbol of life. This represents, right, the feminine, right, the womb. This represents the masculine entryway. This then also represents the entryway into the world from the womb, through the hips, and out through the vaginal canal. Birthing, this is the portal of life. You take this away and make this a cross, it becomes death. As with everything, Stolen. Oh. Who? Hey, sweetheart, how are you? Hi, lovey. All right, guys, let me drop the link. Let me drop the link. This is what we were going to do. This is what we fitting to do. Is everybody just here from, I think everyone's just here from YouTube. That's the link. Okay, join the stream. You can click that link. I'm not going to be here all night. I'm good, sweetheart. I pulled out my rods just in case we wanted to ask grandma some questions or whoever's hanging around, just like everybody else. So we could talk about this. Now, this is my feeling on this, guys. Now, we've already talked about what the 10 quote unquote, the 10 commandments are that are on here. This is my feeling on the subject. I am not convinced that this is completely new world order discussion. Okay, that these Georgia Guidestones and what are on here, 9 out of the 10 are not new world order. I do believe that this was created by the Rosicrucians, though, and they were or are Masonic based. They're an interesting order of Christianity. A lot of people would say that they are New World Order, perhaps because of their Masonic ties. This is the only thing that gives me pause in what they're talking about. That's the only thing, the maintaining humanity under a certain level. Other than that, there's absolutely no reason why we should not be living in this way. Now, the Guidestones themselves, I don't think I finished talking about the Guidestones. So not only, let me see if I can find that picture again so I can show y'all. Let me find this picture. Images. I want to find one that's a little... Hang on one second. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. On the capstone, let me share this with you guys. On the capstone up at the top, there's also, and I have never like decoded it, but you also up here have like Egyptian hieroglyphs in one section. I believe there's Greek written in one section as well. There's a couple of, but there's Egyptian hieroglyphs and Sanskrit as well as on here. So there's ancient languages on the capstone that held everything in balance, and then have the hole drilled in the top that when it beams down through, there's a beaming that comes, and at high noon, it perfectly aligns there, right? And then there's one for the North Star. So this to me says that they were definitely going by some of the ancient knowledge. I'm going to do some more digging, and I'll share with you probably in a series of shorts or just an uploaded video what those hieroglyphics actually say. Yes, they are Hebrew. There is Hebrew on, as I had listed, the languages that are written, those 10 commandments, if you will, are written. English, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, Hebrew, Hindi, and Swahili. Hebrew is actually a modern language. Sanskrit predates Hebrew, and Sanskrit is what Jesus was writing in the sand, in the dirt with. Hebrew is not a old language. The doors of Janus. Jupiter, right? In Rome? I'll have to look that up. Okay. Let's see here. Tarot guy, do you really want to go down this path with me? Okay, hang on. Let me look. Let me look at what you're saying before I pop off. The Egyptian gods and that were stolen by the Greeks, I'm aware. And the Romans stole them from the Greeks. Yep. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. Everything came from us. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Keza. Babylonian, Classic Greek, Sanskrit, and Egyptian hieroglyphs. Thank you very much. Out of 1,200 years, out of 1,200 years of empire, 30 years of those doors were open. Janus, the two-faced god, Janus is believed to be derived from Saturn and Kronos. Correct. So Jupiter was Zeus, killed his father Saturn. As it goes. Here we go. Rumor has it, Ted Turner, founder of CNN, TNT, TBS, and other media outlets that keep us divided, he is the one that funded the Georgia Guidestones. It is possible. That is possible. I don't know if Ted Turner was a Rosicrucian. That would be very interesting. If he was a Mason, I would tend to believe he was particularly one of the 20. As the story goes, there were 20 people that came together to create, and it great wealth. And I understand that they're part of the elites that are trying to, that's why I believe we've got this one here. That's why I believe that this one statement is here, right? That this statement here, maintain humanity under 500,000 in perpetual balance with nature. I believe that's why that statement is here, because of that group wanting to do that. There's always going to be one thing, I think, in the midst of something that could have been a good message that's going to derail it. Well, not always. But if you're trying to get people to believe in something, you're going to give them 90% truth, or at least 70%, some preponderance of truth. And then you're going to feed in some lie. We see this all the time. Only now we get fed lies and we just believe them because we're too fucking stupid to stop. You guys, I really want to talk to y'all. Feel free to come on up, guys. God of the doorway is the God of duality. Absolutely, which is why we have a dual world. Well, we'll have to figure out. I need to understand. Janus would be January. That's where we got January from. So I need to understand that. Okay, the capstone on top is astronaut. Yep, we talked about the North Star, and so what I want to know is which. Okay, so there's 2 languages on each stone. For whatever reason, and if anybody can find this out for me, I would love it. I want to know which stone. I think it was pointing west. That's the one that was taken down. I believe it's the west one. I want to know what 2 languages are on that stone. Oh, that's another west structure. Okay. I want to know which stone and what languages were on that stone. To me, that's critically important. And what direction that particular stone. Do you think it could be their interpretation of the emerald tablets? I think it's their bastardization of it. So it could be partially yes, partially no. Yep. Yeah, we talked about that just a little while ago. Each of these laws can be wielded for good or evil. Absolutely. It could be. Elites have recently banned cows in the Netherlands. Oh my good Lord Jesus, help us all. The farmers are protesting. The authorities have been violent against them. They've blown up so many food products. We are now officially, by the way, up to 100 in the U.S. We're up to 100 processing plants in the U.S. that have been blown up. Just so we're all clear. So let's get back to so now we know what they are. Now we know what they symbolize. Now we know that they are astronomically, astrologically, in equinox, like they are very much aligned, and it's very much a compass. 9 out of the 10 guidelines, I'm going to say, are not bad guidelines. 9 out of the 10 are not bad guidelines. The unfortunate thing is every time that, this is why I believe that, this whole new age, if you will, belief system, that this new age spirituality has gotten such a bad rap because, of course, it's gotten hijacked, bastardized, and changed over by those that wish to inflict a new world order. I want us, though, to really focus on why. I need to know which one of these goddamn stones. Okay, thank you. It was if it's West Stone, it's interesting. We're going to the Pluto. Yes, thank you. Oh my God. We haven't even talked about that yet. The Pluto, not only Pluto retrograde, but America's Plutonic return part 2. Earlier this year, no, they're not all gone. There's 3 still standing. Unless they took them down, as of just a little while ago, there's 3 still standing. And I don't want them to, guys, I literally have to, we can't just start like saying, oh, this is this, this is this. We got to investigate. They did knock them all down. Wow. Yeah, people started when they change what they don't like. Wow. That actually saddens me greatly. So we're hearing different stories, whether or not they knocked them down, whether or not they fell down. Well, if we can still determine which was the first one that got blown up. And again, thank you, friend, for sending this. I'm going to share this again with y'all. Oh, I have a new member. Thank you, NPE. Or you've been a member for 5 months. The Hindu Swahili one. Thank you. I didn't see this. I don't know why this didn't show up. The Hindu and Swahili one was the one that was bombed first. Interesting. The Hindu Swahili one, which would have been keys to the deepest in esoteric or energetic knowledge. The ones that would have had the deepest understanding, the cultures from which we would have gotten the deepest understanding or have gotten very deep understanding of our esoteric being, our chakras, our relationship with nature, on Africa, where the true Garden of Eden exists, other things. That's very interesting. They knocked that one down first. Welcome to the show, Sky. How are you? You might have to change your microphone settings. Bombed and actually demolished after explosion damaged one of the 4 grand. Okay, so it was demolished. My God, today. Yeah, I've got the video of the bombing. Hi, Sky. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, I can hear you now. How are you?
Is my video on here now too?
It is. Did you mean for it to be?
What? Yeah.
Did you want it to be?
I'm not. I've never taken this degree of being able to talk about that. I'm by the way.
So, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so happy to find this freaking channel. Oh my God, I'm not going nuts.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I look like I'm going nuts, but I'm just kind
of. No, you're fine. Trust me. We all go nuts around here. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's normal.
I swear to God, I don't know. I don't want to take up all space and stuff, but it has been freaking kicking in like crazy. I swear to God, if the spiritual warfare were to have a starting point, it just started. Like intuitive, I just get this. I'm seeing people go. I just saw a guy go insane in a Panda Express today, for no reason. Last night when I was sleeping outside my window, it felt like I could hear a giant dying moose. Like a moose was like shrieking for its life for like 20 minutes. I'm getting a bunch of weird synchronicities and experiences. Just had a fallout with like I'm noticing the people that do a very good job playing a character are
Yeah.
starting to have to crumble their realities. And if they are, and recently in the last 2 days alone, I have noticed so many of the people in my life that do a really good job of playing a character.
Yeah.
It's completely different person. So it's been really interesting. I don't know.
Like their energy is completely shifted, or they've gone into
Yeah,
a different like matrix, or they've got a different storyline.
like the sky is blue one day, the sky is red the next day. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I'm getting a lot of weird situations. I worked at a high level in the two industries in Los Angeles that suck the most. So uh, that actually is what's kind of started my spiritual awakening, and I got so scared I just kind of ran away, and I've just been living life, living the dream, living the journey since. But
Yeah.
now I'm like understanding more and more of what I was being a part, like what I was seeing and experiencing. I just call it the checkerboard men, but whoa, man, like
The NPCs. Yeah.
everything. Yeah. Well, for me, it's like I've like I was trained by checkerboard men without even realizing it growing up. So
Wow.
a little like trained in because I worked in finance as I started when I was 17, which shouldn't have been legal, but like I was just so I started in the investment and private equity world, and I didn't I knew my bosses in the tiny little family office we were in were like really stacked, and I didn't know why. And since then, there have been like indictments that have come out. I've seen now it's like my world broke, and I went, oh my God. And then I just started seeing how they play this game with each other and how they take people out, how they how they like come after you socially first and all this stuff. And how like, we'll be these billionaires, and there's this billionaire. And like that billionaire got defamed because these billionaires wanted this. Like it's crazy. Um, but I don't know. And then all the spiritual stuff has come in. So I've just had a really interesting experience. I'm so blessed to find your channel.
I'm
So
so glad that you're here.
yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. Listen, I do believe definitely there's been a war that's been going on, and yes, it's kicked up a bunch of notches. I believe that this is all of course connected back to CERN, and that when they really did fire this up, because they've been firing it up for a while, it takes a while to
Mm-hmm.
get to 13.8 trillion electron volts of power. It doesn't just happen overnight. You don't flip a
Mm-hmm.
switch.
Mm-hmm.
But it messed with the Schumann resonance,
Mm-hmm.
and it threw the whole equilibrium
Mm-hmm.
off. And I do also believe that the reason for messing with it was because us as higher beings, we have been like awakened beings. We've been like rising with the Schumann resonance, right? The Schumann resonance has been rising incrementally for a while now. But as it rises, and as our awareness and our ability to tap in rises and be in concert with nature and concert with the earth, they needed to do something to interrupt it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's what I was. Oh my God.
I, I just feel very strongly they needed to do something to interrupt that pattern, which is why I created the video I created earlier that I'm going to be dropping. But that's why I'm like, we've got to kind of, in a way, disconnect or disengage a little bit, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's like we're all kind of like they tapped into the higher matrix, if you will. And so it's like they can, then it's a way to infiltrate and kind of usurp this energy, or
Yeah.
put, certain things within this energetic grid that we're all on, right?
Mhm.
Even those that are rising up. So I feel there was that interference. When I heard that the Georgia Guides is interesting because they just came across my purview again recently. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I need to go see them. Anyway, so that won't happen now. But so when I heard they were bombed today, I was like, oh, this is what the game we're playing now. Because some people are going to take that as it was a Christian group that went in, said it was satanic, and in fact there was a woman that was running for governor, I think, in the primary, and she's part of her platform was that she was going to demolish the Georgia Guidestones.
Mm. I find it interesting when subjects that have never gotten a lot of attention before kind of come up in a situation, because like I think it's all about a fight over the control of perception.
Yes.
And what you were saying about the Schumann resonance and how we're rising, yeah, I totally agree. It's just like with a synthesizer, like it's an oscillation of a wave. And
Yes.
so they kind of took a knob and they went, and they're messing with, and just like with a wave, that's why I really love the whole frequency thing. Wave, like a cosine wave goes whoosh, it has an up and it
Yes.
has it down and it comes back. But the amplitudes, the wavelength is usually a set number, but that amplitude, they're reflective of each other.
They
So I think that when they do that, something like that, there's a rubber band effect, the up and then the down, and boom, and
absolutely.
that's when shit just starts to freaking unfold.
Absolutely.
Apologize for my potty mouth, by the way.
Don't worry about it. We've already been cursing anyway.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. I haven't been able to talk geometry to somebody like in forever. Okay, anyway, or trigonometry from forever. Okay, anyway. So I think what happened is they went broop, and then the crash allowed them to be able to open up the portal and get into antimatter. We won't know the full ramifications of this for a little bit.
I wonder if they knew, if they were waiting for the time period of the Schumann resonance to be like at a reflective value of something they could manipulate to a high degree. Like, I wonder if they were waiting for the right Earth frequency, the right resonance of Earth, so they could match that, or because they're essentially tapping into it in the first place.
That would be interesting.
I don't know.
I know that numerically they did it specifically on a certain day at a certain time for a certain reason with the moon and everything, and the certain planets aligned in a certain direction. I hadn't thought about that.
They have a Shiva statue sitting right on that particle collider. They say they got it gifted to them, but they have a Shiva. CERN has a Shiva statue, like the statue with the ring. It's a very famous. There's so many versions of it, but
Are
they
you
have
serious?
it sitting in the room with the particle collider. I find that so symbolic.
Oh my God. Okay, now I gotta go back through there. Now you sent me clean up. Okay, let's deal with it. So we have people that are seeing UFOs and shadow beings. Guys, you're gonna see more of that. You're gonna see more shadow beings, you're gonna see more UFOs when my friend and I were talking to my grandmother. I asked the question, will we begin to see light beings like show themselves before the end of the year? And I got a definite yes. The shadow beings, not until the early next year, but they are bringing them through. And I'm seeing a lot of shadow. I'm like, it's like, I see them all the time now. And they used to hide, but I see them. I've seen a lot of UFOs. I've told you guys about the UFO activity over my home. I think there was some amount of I'm so used to it now. It's like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe about a month or so ago, there were more UFOs. And but I know they're friendly and I know they're there to protect me. What are you seeing out in LA? It's interesting because I have some dear friends out there. What are you seeing out that way these
Well, I
days?
just left, but
Oh, did you?
it's crime at an all-time high. Crazy amounts of like where Cali fornicate. Whoa, where Cali fornicates, right? So California, where Cali
Mm-hmm.
fornicates. Um, it's just it seems like most people just kind of have now accepted living in a double standard, like accepted, and they're actually acting out those double standards through them. There's a lot of things going on economically. There's $10
Yes.
gas just
Yeah.
about there.
Yes.
It's and they don't care. They're California's doing a relief package early next year. There's a bunch of they're do if I were to look at let's take the Soviet Union, right? So this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of a more physical just point, but the Soviet Union, they took people's big properties first and started putting in families, shared housing, all those sorts of things. California's
Wow.
doing that. We're seeing 14 roommate housing, 15 roommate housing right now. I
Wow.
think that I come at things with a perspective also from because I have a background in like finance world and stuff. I think that when the Bible says like money's not the root of all evil, the
The
attachment to
love
it
of
is.
money. Yep.
Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
love of money. I think that um, it's very reflective that the group is called the World Economic Forum. What is
Mm-hmm.
economics? Economics is the study of human behavior attaching to trade and value. So because you can economics is finance. No, they're two completely different things. Like when you take economics and stuff in school, they make you take behavioral economics, which is all learning about how people think, how consumers think, how all those sorts of things. And I think it's very interesting how like the globalization that's causing a lot of damage and negativity right now, they're using all the oldest tricks in the book. They're using the attachment to value, the attachment to material, poisoning the well, doing all sorts of like biblical evils. Um, and it just shows how kind of easy and susceptible it is if humans are not uh, choosing to value morals over material. And I think we live in a time right now where material justifies the moral doesn't justify the material, and none of the music none of the music says anything anymore. The art is now supposed to make sense. When is art supposed to make sense? It's art. Those are all things that are said in Revelations, like when there's no meaning in the art anymore, no meaning in the music, the words. I'm starting to really see how if there were revelations playing out, it might not be burning, burning, burning everywhere. I'm starting to see how it's more like The Good Place. If you've ever seen that show, The Good Place,
I don't think
where
I've seen that one.
uh, so just a brief plot is like basically these people die and they go to this place called The Good Place, and it's like all white picket fence America, like yogurt shops at every corner, like frozen yogurt, all this stuff. And then you find out that those characters are in hell and they're not in heaven. They're in hell and they don't realize it. And the devil made an experiment to make hell look a lot like heaven to see if it was even more of a damnation punishment. And then I'm like, wow, why did that show even come out in the first place? I wonder if
What
they're letting us know.
exactly?
I
Well,
wonder if they're letting us know.
there are a lot of there's a lot of thought leaders that will say to you, that will tell you that that they believe that this is what we have been told is hell, that we're living in it right now, and that heaven is not, there's not really any such real physical place as heaven, right? It is, the transition and then you kind of reincarnate, but it's
Yeah,
the being able to be more
the
so
Tao.
on a higher existence, a higher dimensional existence with source. And if you continue to take things apart, it would really make sense. It would make sense that this is more so an experiment and more so that this is a matrix. I mean, even if you look at the Bible, right? Genesis 1:1 starts and everything is great. Genesis 1:2, everything is destroyed. Well, what the heck happened between those two verses? And then all of a sudden we have this start over, right? And then there's this wonderful story. And then at the end, people usually say, oh, well, it just ends with like one thing. No. It ends, you got the whole Armageddon situation or whatnot. And then the devils let back out for, or then there's a millennial reign with rod and iron, right? And then
the bowls pouring, the pouring of the bowls of
right. Well, that all happens before the Armageddon and the millennial reign, right? So there's this whole thing that happens, and then there's a millennial reign, and then there's then the devil's let back out again for some untold amount of time. And then after that big situation happens, then there's this new heaven and new earth, and everybody like lion lays that with lamb and everything is like amazing. So I'm like, guys, did you not see that this is all going to happen again? It's all going to happen again. This is just like one iteration of the experiment.
This happened 13,000 years ago.
It's
this happened.
You and I need to talk. You and I need to talk.
We're just doing it again. We're doing the circle, the snake.
We are doing it again.
We're doing the Nidhogg. Yup. We're doing
it again.
Yup. The snake of time. So
absolutely. Okay, what if CERN is trying to use this to mark us all as gifted folks? This is why I said to you, do not tap yourself in. This is why I said lots of grounding stones, Epsom baths. I would keep labradorite close by. I would keep malachite. I would keep moonstone close by if you have it. Hematite. Actually, simple amethyst is actually a great spiritual protector if you are not like really able to encapsulate your own aura and your own consciousness and kind of like block, if you will, on your own. I hate using the word block because it's negative, but if you're not able to like maintain your own autonomy aurically, then I would say get some of the stones. Again, diffuse frankincense or burned frankincense, myrrh, cedar wood, pine. What are some of the other ones? Patchouli, if you happen to have it. Any of those will also maintain like an air of an aura or around protection of you.
And I think it's important for me when I use stones and stuff. I use a lot of quartz and amethyst.
Yes.
And silicite. It's important for me to make sure I charge it. Make sure I set a charging intention with it. Instead of just having it around me normally. I think that's taking it from the lower magic to the higher magic.
Yes.
I found that that's been really helpful for just my space and aura and stuff like that.
I completely agree.
One thing I think is also very interesting. If you read Dante's Inferno, which was really just a model after the Aeneid, which was written by Virgil in Rome during Augustan times. Under Augustus funded it. But Dante's Inferno mirrored that. Like when Dante goes into the underworld, he talks to Virgil, and Virgil gives him insight and stuff. But in Dante's Inferno, the devil is not blazing hellfire and everything.
Right.
He's stone cold. It's the bottom of the coldest iceberg. That the most freezing winter. The pale horse, right? The Capricorn, the Capricorn, the pale horse, the winter.
Right.
Death coming in the dead cold of winter. What I'm noticing in personalities right now is not a blazing fire, but just stone cold lack of compassion from a lot of NPCs. Stone cold. And just looking at those two things, I've lost a lot of family members, friends. I pretty much X'd so many people, like, but it wasn't even me doing it protectively. It was like the energies just collided, and
Yeah.
The frequencies did not match.
Yes.
And I noticed that my my specific experience, when I'm around someone or something that is playing a character, but on the inside it's like stone cold,
Yeah.
I might not even consciously know, but I'll start going and start talking, almost as like just start talking, and if they talk, just start tearing apart what they're saying and their arguments, and it's almost like my soul knows back off, back off, back off, back off, and it's using my words to just create this giant like bridge of like energy wall to go, you are not good for, and it's almost like it's reminding me, yo, this person's probably not good for you, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and a lot of people will get or not a lot of people, those people will like then attack that, and then
Hmm.
now I've learned, in the past it was, okay, am I just being a talkative asshole? And now it's like, it happens every time someone is taking advantage of me. Every time. Um,
That's good.
and I'm noticing so much. I've noticed so much about and it's like, almost now that I've chosen my awakening process, now when I see people like that, a person that someone could say like reptilian, I'm not even gonna say, yes, reptilians do exist. I personally think that the universe is making them not be as prevalent right now, so the humans can fight over the consciousness stream. That's just my opinion, but I'm noticing, what is a reptilian? Like, I think it's even somewhat a level of a coping mechanism for a lot of lower. I think it's lower vibrational to state that it's reptilians doing everything, and that's a
Right. I
big
agree with you.
conspiracy theory. I think that's very humanly egotistical to not admit that humans can think like a primordial reptile, the primordial brain, right? The gray matter compared to the white matter. So in your brain, the survivalist, we are all like, we are half devil, half God, it, essentially in biblical belief. So I think that's kind of a little bit of a concept that people are latching a lot onto, because it's even harder to even just imagine that all these horrible things and all this stuff is just people that have been hurt and just never chose to heal.
Well,
And
I
I'm
agree. Yeah.
noticing a lot of sorry, I'll let you go.
No, I was just going to say that I do agree with you. And the thing is that the I personally believe, and I've heard this from others as well, that there were certain agreements made throughout human history that have allowed for that kind of enslavement or entrapment of humanity to make it even harder for
Mm-hmm.
us to ascend and awaken. And
Mm-hmm.
that there are a number of us that are here, um, that are here to help guide, right,
Yes.
humanity through that process. I want to just go just a little bit here. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but I love this discussion.
No worries.
Alexa says that I feel like whatever they did at CERN has kicked things into high gear, and things are going to get crazier and crazier. I do think that. I think someone asked me the question earlier at the beginning of the stream, whether or not I thought that they changed timelines on us, or did they do something to the existing timeline? And I kind of paused, because it's kind of a very nuanced question. But I do feel like kicked they they ratcheted up the shadow energy, and gave it an infusion of like a booster shot, right? Like a bolt of like poof, right? To just accelerate how that energy is going to proliferate throughout the entire world. Because light always passes through faster than dark. And so, with this proliferation of light workers, and things like that, and people like getting turned on, and people like myself helping light workers like actually get into their purpose and work in it, you had to do something. And there's too many people waking up to the
Mm-hmm.
realities. Like, people aren't listening by and large, I think a lot of people are no longer listening to the narrative, and they're recognizing where it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
They're recognizing where there's division, there's constant divisiveness. They're recognizing that they're trying to like take down the entire economy. They're recognizing, like, you can't help but recognize
They're
that.
starting to see it on their grocery store shelves. They're
Exactly.
like, it's almost undeniable now in terms of the
Exactly.
evidence. You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Um, what, Alexa, what do you, can we ask your Rod some question about all this? Do you guys want me to bring out the rods here and let's see what's going on? Sky,
Yes.
this is amazing.
Yeah, I need to
I'm
call you
so
privately
glad.
in general. We need to talk in
Yes,
general.
yeah. Let's
Um,
let's make that happen. I'm so honored. I'm so glad that you came on to this tonight.
yeah, this is my first time like being on a stream ever. I just kind of
Oh
want
my
to need to
God.
get it out of my system. You
I'm
know,
honored.
I'm happy. I'm happy this community exists. I'm happy it's authentic. I'm happy you're amazing. I'm happy you're so insightful. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy I found this, and I found it on the Cancer new moon. So I've
Yay.
things start to go in motion, and this information has been really helpful just for dealing with my everyday. So thank you. God bless. For
God
real.
bless. Everyone loves you there, by the way. They're like, hey, he's
Oh,
really turned on. He's really insightful. So
yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I
thank
don't know.
you.
I just kind of tweak and figure stuff out. I don't know.
You're on the right path.
Yeah.
You're on the right path. Reach back
Okay.
out to me so we can connect, okay?
Okay. Okay. For
Uh,
sure. For
all
sure.
right, dear.
All right. Peace.
Bye. All right, he's cool peeps. All right. So we're gonna ask the people, we're gonna ask the rods questions. Oh my gosh, bestie. I heard some elitist guy say a few minutes ago we'll own nothing and be satisfied about. I heard that. I've heard that too. I've heard that too. They definitely are trying to kill off the middle class because that is, us having ownership of things. A lot of the human race can't handle the 5D. I agree with that. The amount of mentally challenged people around is like tenfold. I will agree with that as well. But I think some mentally challenged people are actually higher dimensional people. I think they're more in tune than we realize. Right? Oh, we'll have Sky back. Sky will be back. Not a problem. He'll be back. Okay, here we go. That's yeah. So this is the other reason. Okay, wait, guys, hang on. When's the next one? Let me edit this. Oops. Nope, hide this. So there's a few things, you guys, that I'll be doing here. Returns. July 19. Okay, you guys, shameless plug. It is what it is. So you guys are just gonna have to be okay with it. Okay. You guys have hung with me all this time. You'll be fine. So you guys know I do Lightworker Liftoff every month. Here's when it is again. I am also, and the registration is open. You guys can go on and register for it now. To help you create your business basically to help you start to work in your light work, start to work in your purpose. Okay. Today, it's a free event. This is probably going to be the last month for a while, though, that it's going to be free. So I would suggest coming. I would suggest registering for VIP. It's $47. You get an additional third day of training, and you get recordings of all 3 days. CJD, I am almost done. I promise to God, you will have your recordings. And yeah, so this is probably gonna be the last month, right? That it's gonna be free or $47. So I suggest signing up for it. Also, guys, we'll be making an announcement by the weekend about a new membership, 2 new membership groups that I am also starting like now, because I know that it's very important for you guys to be able to work with me as well. So I'm creating multiple ways for you all to be able to work with me. Okay? And to get time with me and to have access to some things and access to resources. I realize that not everybody can get into the 6-month like academy program, right? And then I've got something actually for those of you that want to scale your existing business. We'll do that later. This Lightworker Liftoff, no matter if you become a part of my membership group or not, as a matter of fact, I'll probably gift you the VIP Lightworker Liftoff for members, or at least at a very reduced rate, right? I'm going to have 2 memberships. I'm launching them. They're called Creators from the Heart, the Adept, and the Initiate. I will be launching that by the weekend. So stay here. It's monthly. You get a monthly, at least 1 monthly meeting with me, perhaps 2. There'll be some members only lives. There's going to be discounts. There's going to be resources, workbooks, journals. Fabulous. Okay, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to leave this running down at the bottom. All right. I'm going to leave this running. All right. Here we go. All right. That's right. You're not crazy. You're just waking up. Exactly. Thank you, Tarot Guy. Lightworker Liftoff program is amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, Christina did VIP. Yep. Thank you so much. Sky, your hair is awesome, Alexa says. Amazing. The more I've awakened, the more one of those stone cold reptilian-minded people, the more work I did on my fear control. Absolutely. Now they all seem like a child throwing a temper tantrum. They certainly are. They certainly are. All right. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Whoo, Lord have mercy, Jesus, help us today. All right, I'm going to post this one more time. It's in the pinned messages, but we are going to put this here one more time. All right, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to have my dowsing rods. Thank you, Alexa. I have my dowsing rods. So dowsing rods, for those of you that do not know how they work, it is yes or no questions. So my grandmother is back. I'm also feeling angelic beings here with us today. Oh, curly hair, curly locks. Yes, he certainly does. Keza says, let's go. Yeah, let it keep growing. You're welcome, honey. Hey, bestie. Love her. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Your power is in your hair. Absolutely. So I'm putting braids back in again. All right, here we go. Yes, it's exciting. All right, so yes or no questions. I'm going to take questions from you guys, though. I don't necessarily have a whole lot of questions, so I don't want everybody disappearing on me. Yes or no questions. Type in the chat, yes or no questions, or you can come up, yes or no questions, and I will ask. I am feeling some angelic presences here today. My girl Ariel is here. Yes or no questions about the Guidestones, about CERN? Do we have any yes or no questions? I went over some of them yesterday. That we asked, about whether or not they knew they opened up a portal, whether or not they did open up a portal. Or do you guys just generally have any yes or no questions you want me to ask? Will food supply worsen before the end of the year? Oh, stop. No. Okay, guys, you really want to talk today, don't you? We're ready to talk. Are you ready to talk? Yeah, you're ready to talk. Thank you. Will food supply worsen before the end of the year? It's a very light yes. Is this a complicated question? Cross for yes, open for no. Interesting. Okay, what are you saying to me? That's a maybe. So will food supply worsen in all areas of the US? Cross for yes. Okay, so it will worsen. Is CERN a part of the God timeline? Is CERN a part of the God timeline? Cross for yes. Okay. Is there altering timelines part of the master timeline? Cross for yes, open for no. Is this part of the master timeline? That's a light yes. Can we correct this timeline? Cross for yes, open for no. Cross for yes, stay still for no. Is that what we're doing today? Guys, I have to let you guys know something. So I've been talking to Grandma Betty. Grandma Betty does not like to play by the rules. I've learned that Grandma Betty will cross for yes, but she'll keep them still for no. So we'll have to give her that. The first night I had these, I'm not sure who I was talking to. I think it was my dad, though. And so he played by the rules. Grandma Betty, which is my father's mother, does not play by the rules. So sometimes you have that. So I'll ask that question again. Is this part of the master timeline? Thank you. Okay. You ready? Thank you. Is this part of the master timeline? Cross for yes, still for no. Are we able to change what they've done? Cross for yes. Thank you. So we're able to change everything that they have done, guys. We can change. All right. Oh, perfect. You just can tell everything. Okay, here we go. Did a higher power? Oh, that's an interesting question. Let's reset. Let's reset. Let's reset. Let's reset. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, thank you. I gotta move the other way. She just don't want to act right. Stop playing. Let's reset. Okay. Okay. Did a higher power destroy the Georgia Guidestones? Cross for yes. No. Is China going to invade Taiwan? Well, that's very specific. I like how you think, Sky. Is China going to. Really, guys? What are we doing? Really, guys? You're just going to answer no before I can even start? I feel like one of y'all is taking over. Is China going to invade Taiwan in August? Cross for yes, open for no. Is that a maybe? Is China going to invade Taiwan? Grandma Betty don't open them. Okay, sweetheart. Thank you. Were the Georgia Guidestones for the good of all humanity? Reset, please. Were the Georgia Guidestones good for all of humanity? Cross for yes. However you're going to do no. Cross for yes. Were the Georgia Guidestones good for all of humanity? For the good of all of humanity. Ooh, that's a no. Were okay. Was the intention of the creator of the Guidestones bad for humanity? New World Order. Is my question too complicated? Okay, we have to break this down. What was the intention of RC Christian? Evil. Cross for yes. You're trying to cross. I feel you. Okay. So he created them. He didn't mean any good. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, you can. He didn't mean any good by it. That he didn't create them for good. Were all the messages evil? Oh. So it was not meant for good. It was not meant for good. It was not meant for good. I feel like half these questions we're not supposed to know. Well, if we don't know, if we're not supposed to know, then they won't tell us. Trust me. If you're going to be gifted a house, I saw you, tarot guy. Hang on one second. Let me ask you this one. Will Christina and her husband be gifted? Ooh, are Christina and her husband being gifted a new house? Come on, guys, reset. Stop playing. Cross for yes. Are they being gifted a new house? Yes. Now, when I see that, though, when it only crosses one way, that usually tells me it's not coming in the way that you think. So, but yes, it will be gifted to you, just not in the way you think. Okay. So, Drea, I actually asked that question yesterday. And yes, they are inviting dark energies in. Actually, it's not really that they're necessarily dark. Like the initial energies are not going to be dark. The initial energies are somewhat like middle ground and neutral, but they're going to try to use them for dark reasons. Here we go. Was the bombing of the Guidestones a distraction for something else? I'll ask them if there was a distraction. I find it interesting that they were intended evil. That's interesting. We're gonna have to go. I'm about to do a crystal ball on that one. Whoa, hey yo, whoa, come on, reset, reset. Here's our plan. Thank you. Was the bombing of the Guidestones a distraction? Cross for yes. Can I get a little bit more of a definitive? Was the bombing of the Guidestones a distraction? Cross for yes. Okay. Was the bombing of the Guidestones an act of war? Was the bombing of the Guidestones an act of war? I feel like I'm getting closer. Okay. Was the bombing of the Guidestones symbolic of the upcoming war? I'm getting much closer. Mm-hmm. Are these answers that am I supposed to be asking these questions? Probably not. Okay. Potentially only good for the elites. Well, that's a deep one. Will martial law in the U.S. be enforced before 2023? Oh my God, I gotta sit up straight for this. You guys are asking me serious questions here. Reset. Reset. Completely. Don't knock my stuff over. You guys ready? No? You're not? Oh my gosh. You ready? No. Okay, can we be serious, please? Can we be serious? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I got some serious questions to ask. Thanks. Comedians, I tell you. Will martial law in the United States be enforced before 2023? Cross for yes. You heard that here. Martial law in the US before 2023. Yeah, she'd be crazy. I asked it about a civil war last night, but I didn't ask for a specific date. I did ask about civil war last night, and the answer was no, there will not be a civil war. Can I get a free Chick-fil-A? Listen, I will send you, I'm not sure where you're at, but I'll come visit you and buy you a Chick-fil-A. I think we talked about this already. War on American soil. We're already in war. Well, why my gas still so damn expensive if we make in darkness? Because you're not teleporting. Okay, here we go. Is CERN and the Guidestones, are CERN and the Guidestones connected? Good question, Drea. Here we go. Okay, reset, please. Reset. Reset. We. you ready? Are you ready now? Thank you. Okay. Are CERN and the Guidestones connected? Cross for yes. Yes, they're connected. Commenting with your girlfriend's account gives you a new feeling of freedom. I bet it does. Grandma Betty be playing, boy. She be playing. Okay, here we go. Elon Musk just took all his kids to see the Pope. Are you sure about that, Arsene? Well, it must be for real. Why would you take them to see? Don't get me started talking about the Pope. Please don't start a revolution, okay? Reset. Don't act like y'all don't want to answer these questions. Y'all playing. Do you see this? They are playing with me. Okay. Come on now. Let's be serious just for a few more minutes and I'll let y'all go. Will there be a revolution in America before 2024? There will be a revolution. Did you see that? Everybody got that? Revolution before 2024. I don't need them to answer that. There will be another pandemic. They're already planning it. They're already planning it. Okay. I'm going to say this to y'all. I'm going to say this. 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 And I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way. Not only is there another pandemic on its way, how am I going to say this? I think we need to have a private discussion. I'm going to be putting up a private discussion for us. I will say this. I really need you all to investigate the components of the experimental pharmaceuticals that have been proliferated in people's arms throughout the world. I've talked about them before. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I know probably nobody that's watching me is. Well, maybe one of y'all are. But I need you to investigate the components of it. And we will talk about that another time. Okay. We're going to ask a few more questions. Then I'm going to have to let these folks go. Because I could tell they're not feeling me right now. They're getting tired. We're not used to doing this way. I'm just used to channeling. Does the government have anything to do with the planning? Oh, boy. Okay. Well, you going to let me ask the question first, or are you just going by my thought? You're just going off my thoughts right now, huh? That'd be a yes. Keza, that's a yes to your question. I can answer that. I don't need the rods. They're not going down anytime soon. I'll ask that question. Are we going by my thoughts again? Are you guys just going by my thoughts? Do I just have to think the question? Okay, that's how we're going to play it. Let me think the question then. So I'm getting a maybe on this. I'm getting a maybe on this. And that means that I believe what I'm hearing, if I'm going to channel the rest of the message, is that there will be a serious threat of it happening. But right now, with the way the timeline is, the way that this timeline could either split or go either way, we're not sure. Yes, to Keza. Okay. I don't know. The first one didn't. It wasn't what locked us down. Will there be lockdowns as a result? Reset, please. Reset, please. Reset. Thank you. Will there be lockdowns as a result of an illness? Again. Reset. Will there be lockdowns as a result of an illness? Cross for yes. That's a light yes. So that tells me there'll be some, but it will not be as prolific as it was before. I don't know that I want to answer that one. Okay, some of these questions, guys, hang on. Oh my God. Okay, we've got a lot of questions. Yeah, so it's a light yes. So they might use like illness as a reason, but yeah. I don't think that we're gonna see this. I don't think we're gonna see that. I really don't. Okay, sweets, let me ask. See, this is a fun question. Hello, thank you, sweets. Will sweet reset, please? Okay, grandma, be serious. Grandma. Serious now. I know you don't want to be serious. Are you ready? Okay, good. Grandma? Stop playing. Grandma. Will Sweets Harmony have a house in 2022? Will Sweets Harmony have a house in 2022? Cross for yes. Yes, Sweets, you'll have a house in 2022. Okay, good. Then follow your guides. Yes, we cannot close it here. We'll have to do a private. Okay, here we go. Let me ask you. I'm gonna ask it a couple more questions. I'll ask it one more question here. Here we go. Will the U.S. merge with another country? Okay, Grandma, reset. I know. I'm gonna let you go. I know. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I swear. Thank you. Okay. Will the U.S. merge with another country? Cross for yes, straight for no. Will the U.S. merge with another country? Cross for yes, straight for no. Nope. What are we talking about? Snake venom? Oh my gosh. It is in the water. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. We'll talk about this another time. We can't put all this stuff here. We can't put all this stuff here, even with your girlfriend's situations. Okay. All right, guys. That was certainly fun. Thank you, Alexa. What are we talking about? What are we talking about here? Slow burn of resources. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Oh, thank you, Grandma Betty. Thank you. Yeah, I don't see us anytime I've seen anything, it's never been like us merging with another country. It's been more of us dividing, more of like states like really exercising their federalistic situations. Yeah, we're not going to ask Grandma Betty any more questions. It's going to be a lot, guys, today. We'll do this again. If you guys like this, if you guys enjoyed this, we'll do it again. Thank you, love. Oh my God, my hair is a mess. I really need to get it braided again. You're welcome. Well, bad guy. Well, this is interesting. I want to say to you guys before we call it a night, because I didn't intend to be on this one. As far as bad guys winning, I want you guys to understand this. What I'm seeing happening is that there's two realities that will be simultaneously existing on this plane for a while. Evolutionary changes don't happen overnight, and this particular evolutionary change is going to be happening in a different way than before. So yeah. It's going to be in a different way than before. So we're going to see both 3D or lower dimensional realities and 5D higher dimensional realities existing on the same earth plane simultaneously. I'm very interested to see how we will all interact with one another. Okay. Good night, sweetheart. I'll see you again very soon. Thank you, honey. The clear answer. Get your dazzling answer. We are a rebel alliance. In the collabs, there'll be opportunities for small communities to shine. And we already actually have those opportunities right now, guys. I'm beginning to work with some people, and we're going to talk about how Heart of Inspiration and Lightworker Academy will begin to help support them in their efforts so that we can begin to create our own communities. Okay. This was fun, guys. I'll bring out the rods again. Thanks, guys, everyone, for being here so much. The splits already. Absolutely. Yeah, they definitely are. So thank you again for being here. I so very much appreciate you guys. Please do leave a like on your way out if you haven't already done it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you haven't already hit that bell to get the notifications, please do so. And guys, if you want to recommend this content to anybody, please, please do so as well. Look out in the coming couple of days for more really good conversations and information about this kind of information, since you guys seem to like this. We're going to continue to talk about this kind of stuff. So it's not always going to be comfortable, but it will be necessary. And I can't wait to unveil the other ways that you guys can work with us and grow. So again, go to lightworkerliftoff.com if you haven't attended one, or if you signed up for one before and you weren't able to attend. July is probably going to be the last one I'm doing for free, to be honest with you, with the VIP option. So I'd sign up. And then, you could always come next month, but I'd sign up and then be on the lookout for Creators from the Heart. That's going to be an opportunity for, I know a lot of you have been wanting to come into the Academy, but it just was kind of outside of the budget at the moment. So because of that, I've created, and we're getting ready to launch it, a couple of ways for us to work together. Okay. So there you go. Yes, we did talk about, you know what? I think I need to talk about Shiva. I think we need to talk about Shiva. We do. All right, gang. I'm going to get on out of here, guys. Thanks. Have a wonderful evening, guys. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys extremely so much. Namaste, everyone. Bye-bye.